Back again. Another episode. Let me start again. Back again. Another episode of A Muslim and an Atheist Breaks Bread. What you saying, Pop?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some big things have been going on in India recently, to be fair.
Like what?
Like they've just landed on the moon. Now I know you're a skeptic of the moon landings anyway. But it do you know what it is with the moon landing? It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's like I was saying to you, realistically, people can show you anything, can fake any situation. But do I think the moon landings happen? Yeah, I do. I do.
So why haven't the Russians landed on the moon?
Because it's not that easy.
So
if everything was easy, everyone would do it. It's like saying, just because Usain Bolt can run under 10, not everyone can do
10.5.
Well,
9.5. Sorry.
9. Yeah, I was going to say it was under 10, like, but not everyone can do it, innit?
A lot of people can do it.
Well, a lot of people can send their rockets to space as well.
But
just not.
How come no one's landed on the moon? Now they're saying India all of a sudden, what did they send up before? A satellite. Now they've landed on the moon.
Yeah. Well, apparently India have landed on the moon. So we're going to watch a video. First of all, we're going to watch the UK's reaction to India saying they're going to land on the moon, or their space program.
They're going to land on the moon?
No, they have at this point in time, yeah? So
it's
they've done it now. They've done it like last week. Now, this video is 6 days old, yeah? So I think it's amazing, like, if they have. And just, again, I find it strange how people are so skeptical of us landing on the moon, but most of the people I know who think we didn't land on the moon are the same people think that there's aliens. Do you see what I mean? If we're meant to have this,
you mean the conspiracy theorist people?
But if we're meant to have this ancient technology, you know, then why wouldn't we be able to go to the moon? And clearly only some places have got that technology.
Not about being able to go to the moon. It's did they land on the moon, which is the argument. It's not can they go around the moon and past it. Of course they can.
Why would you think they can't land on it then?
Well, they probably can land on it, but the question is, did they land on it? You understand? It's possible. Mm-hmm. But why is it that it's only happened one time?
I don't know. I think maybe the first space race they did it and then they thought, well, there's not really much we can do now because technology or science hadn't really caught up. So yeah, they got there and then it was like, well, what are we going to do now? We actually got nothing to do here. Except for stick a flag in the ground and play a bit of golf. Did they play golf on the moon? They played golf and something else. What was it? There's something else they did on the moon. Golf and something else. But yeah, I don't know. That's the question
they did in that footage.
That's the question for governments, isn't it? Like, they always seem to be doing pointless things, so that's not a reason for them not to do it to me, because I don't know why.
By the end of the 19th century.
Okay, yeah, so anyway, we're going to watch a video. This video is called How UK Media's Racist Rant on Chandrayaans. I think that's what the space program was called. I probably butchered that to death, so forgive me. Success was silenced by India's 45 trillion. Truth. Is that how much it cost them to go there? 45 trillion. It can't cost that much. What a waste of money that would be. Alright, let's watch this video. Oh, here we go.
By the end of the 19th century, the fact is that India was already Britain's biggest cash cow, the world's biggest purchaser of British goods and exports, and the source of highly paid employment for British civil servants. We literally paid for our own oppression.
1947, India achieved freedom. 2003, the Indian government announced the Chandrayaan mission. 2008, India makes a breakthrough and launches Chandrayaan-1, the first Indian lunar probe. 2019, the second lunar exploration mission and a more complex mission, Chandrayaan-2, was launched. 2023, India's third lunar exploration, Chandrayaan-3, made history. And then, British media cried foul.
I would also like to now invite India to return the £2.3 billion foreign aid money that we sent them between 2016 and 2021.
Oh, not news station. This is because I've never.
Is that fake?
Is this man fake?
Yeah.
Nah, I think this is an American news station. Like, you know, like they just love to hire British people. I think they sound posh. I think he's in America. Just looking at the background and just even the graphics of what's behind him, that looks American to me, not British at all. He's British though, but yeah, I don't think it's a British station. So, all right, let's see what he says. Hear that? Return your aid.
Send the money back.
21, we're also set to give them £57 million next year, but I think the British taxpayer should keep hold of that.
The person you just heard was Patrick Christys. He is a British news presenter who said that any country that can afford to go to the moon does not need foreign aid. But Indians today have broken the shackles of colonialism, and that reflected in the response of Indian social media users. Users of X, formerly known as Twitter, responded to the demand and asked UK to return the Kohinoor along with the $45 trillion that Britain is estimated to have taken out of India during the colonial rule. What happened next, Britain perhaps had not expected. Riding a billion cheers and cruising through a tricky descent of about 19 minutes, the lander module of Chandrayaan-3 kept its date with the moon on 23rd August 2023.
Sir, we have achieved soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon.
The 6:03 p.m. touchdown made India the first country to reach the largely unexplored south polar region of the moon, setting up a series of experiments spanning 14 Earth days through payloads on the lander, rover and propulsion module.
चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं, अब एक दिन वो भी आएगा जब बच्चे कहा करेंगे चंदा मामा बस एक टूर के हैं.
ISRO Chief S. Somanath said Chandrayaan-3 assumes significance because it will inspire India to configure missions to Mars, Venus and beyond. The success of the mission with the Made in India craft will inspire future scientific exploratory missions, marking the beginning of a golden era. However, it seems like India's golden era has already ruffled some feathers. British media went on a ranting spree with shocking comments about India's moon mission exhibiting its inherent racist agenda. News presenter Patrick Christys irked many with his comments during his news bulletin about India's successful lunar mission. Patrick started his bulletin congratulating India for its historic feat, but that quickly changed into what internet users termed as a jealous, racist rant. Patrick Christys demanded back the £2.3 billion that he alleged were given to India as aid money by the United Kingdom.
I would also like to now invite India to return the £2.3 billion foreign aid money that we sent them between 2016 and 2021. We're also set to give them...
I love the way he says we, like he sent the money through. Like, we sent them. What did you send them for?
Fake media to me.
This is definitely an American. No way this brother's on English TV.
Give them £57 million next year, but I think the British taxpayer should keep hold of that, don't you? We should not be giving money to countries with a space programme. As a rule, if you can afford to fire a rocket at the dark side of the moon, you shouldn't be coming to us with your hand out. India reportedly has 229 million people living in poverty. According to the UN, it's the highest number anywhere in the world. It's also the 5th largest economy in the world, with an annual GDP of around $3.75 trillion. Why are we paying to help poverty-stricken Indians when their own government won't bother?
Needless to mention, X-users were absolutely furious after watching this video and highlighted the $45 trillion stolen from India by the UK. 45 trillion started trending on X after these reactions went afloat post Chandrayaan 3's landing. The post soon started gaining traction, and users from India were quick to point out that the UK should also return the money looted from India. They claimed the amount was $45 trillion. The buzz soon caused 45 trillion to trend on X. The figure first came to limelight after research done by economist Utsa Patnaik and published by Columbia University Press claimed that Britain drained a total of nearly $45 trillion from India during the period 1765 to 1938. It is a staggering sum, and for perspective, the amount is 15 times more than the GDP of the UK today. Patnaik calculated the sum after analyzing nearly 2 centuries of detailed data on tax and trade.
Many of you would have heard in another country the term century of humiliation. India actually had 2 centuries of humiliation with the West, because the West kind of in its predatory form came into India in the mid-18th century and continued almost exactly for 190 years after that. And it was interesting, I think a year ago, there was actually a very serious economic study which tried to estimate how much the British took out of India in value terms. And a very calculated math ended up put a number of $45 trillion at today's value.
According to a news report published in The Guardian in March 2023, the UK's aid to India was meant to have stopped in 2015 after India said it did not want it. But a review by the Independent Commission for Aid Impacts said that around £2.3 billion, which is almost Rs 23,000 crore, in UK aid went to India between 2016 and 2021. Western opinion shapers often have a mistaken sense of world history, since they tend to look at it from the prism of a colonizer. They function under the belief that the colonial and imperialist rule greatly benefited the colonized subjects and offered them the fruits of industrial revolution and bringing them to civilization. But history is witness. That has never been true for anybody. And definitely not for India.
Colonialists like Robert Clive bought their rotten boroughs in England on the proceeds of their loot in India, while taking the Hindi word loot into their dictionaries.
Robert Clyde, remember I said before about that house that was down south that was full of, like, to this day, full of artifacts from India. Like crazy. That was the guy's house, Robert Clyde, yeah.
As well as their habits. I stand to offer you the Indian example, Sir Richard. India's share of the world economy when Britain arrived on its shores was 23%. By the time the British left, it was down to below 4%. Why? Simply because India had been governed for the benefit of Britain. By the end of the 19th...
Well, because they was putting in all them trade things and it's saying that Indian people couldn't build this, couldn't build that, couldn't even produce the steel for their own railways. So essentially they had to sell the raw materials to Britain, then buy back the actual finished article, heavily taxed. Crazy, man. It's crazy how people just get away with this stuff, man.
That's what Europe's built on.
I know, yeah, but it's just weird, isn't it? Like,
Not just Britain, Europe's built on
Europe
it. Plunder.
Yeah. Mad. But it's weird how, like, you got them people, like, your man's there going, yeah, well, you know, you should give us back all the foreign aid. What's it got to do with you? Same thing, like, when people say, oh, well, my ancestors didn't do anything. What has them got the money got to do with you? Because you never give them nothing. Sit yourself, man. Suckle yourself.
By the end of the 19th century, the fact is that India was already Britain's biggest cash cow, the world's biggest purchaser of British goods and exports, and the source of highly paid employment for British civil servants. We literally paid for our own oppression.
Yeah, so that backfired on him. I bet when he wrote that speech as well, he thought, yeah, this is going to be sick, man. Like, you know, when you're practicing the night before he goes on TV, the news presenter.
Oh.
He thought, yeah, people are going to be down.
That's not real. That's not real.
People are going to be, I don't think it's real. I think it was an American. I do think it was real. I just think it was an American show. But yeah. Again, like I said, amazing. India have reached stars, want for a better word, or the moon. Now, what implications does that have? So, we don't know because we don't know nothing about the space program, but we're going to find out.
It does in terms of, as a manufacturer, if you can go to the moon, your sector is quality.
Is it really
reliable, isn't it? Because that's the highest achievement. You know, sending rockets into outer space, landing and getting people back safe.
Have you heard that? Is it who's this? Chris Rock or Kevin Hart? The joke about how can we send people to the moon and people can't even build cars in this country? Like, it's a sense saying like the quality. So America send people to the moon, but their cars are terrible. The bumpers fall off. They're like Range Rovers, and Range Rovers are meant to be the highest quality cars, but when you actually really observe the build, it's terrible. So really, does that give you an edge in manufacturing? I guess it does when you talk about like chips, computer chips, rockets.
I don't think they're trying to build quality cars. They're just mass producing, and there's a minimum standard and a high standard. So when it comes off the end of the line, it's always at a certain standard. So with like my experiences, they have what they call finishers who look at tick boxes, tick everything is there, but they don't. If it's not major, they're not going to change it because it's hard to change to something at the end of the build. So getting it right first time is imperative. If India is building quality, all it would mean is that their car factories go slower. The line goes 30 cars an hour instead of 60 cars an hour. Mm-hmm. You know, China building at 60 cars an hour. So everything fast and furious, mistakes get made. India, 30.
Yeah, madness. But yeah, man, big shout out to India for reaching the moon. Again, like I said, I look into the implications of that. But India's, like you say, like they're the fifth largest economy now.
So them say.
Where's the UK in that? Because I'm sure we used to be fifth, or was we like fourth or something?
Well, this is sparking the debate about the G7s and these, you know, you're not even a big player anymore and you're still in the G7 and hold these little secret groups. Mm-hmm. But like I said, if the BRICS thing works, there'll be a new order anyway. So you
are right though. Why has no one been to the moon? Like, the Americans did it, obviously.
Did they?
Well, you know what I'm saying, like Americans
claim to.
Yeah, Americans done it. I'd say Americans done it. So Americans did it. When was that? In the 60s. So Americans did it in the 60s. And no one's been up since. No one. Have we been? Not even the British.
landed on the moon.
Yeah. Just them. Neil Armstrong.
No one's landed on the moon. Walked on the moon. They might have landed, but no one's walked on the moon. And you know why?
I'm just thinking,
they send rockets around it and look at it and take pictures of every aspect of it.
I guess I've not really needed to, though, because the probes and stuff, they do wonderful things, though, don't they? So why would you send people to the moon if you don't need to? If I could send a drone or like a robot, whatever it is, to go and do exactly the same thing I'm going to do, why would I risk sending people up there?
Because they can only send robots now. And even India has sent people to the moon, not robots to the moon. You know, sending a robot's nice, but having someone physically there is the ultimate achievement, and not having a robot. The Avatar thing is good,
but do you think
it's
this is
really
going to open up for other countries now? Are we going to see, like...
Open up what?
For other countries to say they've been to the moon, or to actually go to the moon? Or do you think this is just going to be like when America did it? Oh,
it's a kite mark. Huh? It's just a kite mark. You know, we can do this big thing. America did that. Said, you know, became dominant because it said it's got a massive manufacturing sector and could do incredible things. Mm-hmm. America's palmed all that as, even the computers they built Silicon Valley, and then all the people gone back home. Yeah. And everybody's got that kind of thing. So yeah, technology and your country's ability to pay for anybody can have progress if you got the money. Saudi can send someone to the moon tomorrow. Nigeria probably could if they'd let them have the oil money. But it's about, you know, how much trillion did they spend? Next year you'll hear how many million people are starving in India or died from the floods or some next thing. But in terms of their engineering, they own the steel. They've had car manufacturing going on for a while. They're building mega buildings. They're building, selling planes and weapon manufacturers now. Mm-hmm. They've got a navy. They're on the sea in a massive way again, ready to get involved in. Yeah, India world profile is definitely
up there.
Increased.
Okay, yeah. That was how UK media's racist rant on Chandrayaan's success was silenced by India's $45 trillion truth. We out.
Peace.